Here's a story my mom told me and my friends when I was about 7 years old. You can imagine I was scared to death. Hello, my amazing friends! I'm so thrilled to have you here with me today. This video is going to be a little different from our usual content. It's a thrilling compilation of true horror stories that really happened. For all the horror aficionados out there, like myself, I believe you're going to love this spine-chilling journey. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Enjoy the ride!
The boyfriend's death.
A woman and her boyfriend were on their way home from somewhere, not important, one night, and suddenly his car ran out of gas. It was about 1 in the morning and they were completely alone in the middle of the nowhere. The guy stepped out of the car, saying comfortingly of his girlfriend,
"Do not be alarmed. I will return shortly. I am stepping out to seek assistance. In the meantime, please ensure that the doors are securely locked."
She locked the doors and sat restlessly, waiting for her boyfriend to come back. Suddenly, she sees a shadow fall across her lap. She looks up to see, not her boyfriend, but a strange, crazed-looking man. He is swinging some things in his right hand. He sticks his face close to the windows and slowly pulls up his right hand, and it is her boyfriend's decapitated head, twisted horribly in pain and shocked. She shuts her eyes in horror and tries to make the image go away. When she opens her eyes, the man is still there, grinning psychotically. He slowly lifts his left hand, and he is shabbed fall across her lap. She looks up to see, not her boyfriend, but a strange, crazed-looking man. He is swinging something in his right hand. He sticks his face close to the window and slowly pulls up his right hand, and it is her boyfriend's decapitated head, twisted horribly in pain and shocked. She shuts her eyes in horror and tries to make the image go away. When she opens her eyes, the man is still there. Grinding psychotically. He slowly lifts his left hand and he is holding her boyfriend's keys to the car.
Alone in the woods.
During my time in college, I, a female student, enrolled in a course focused on outdoor survival. The course culminated in a demanding 3-day and 3-night wilderness solo experience. Each participant was permitted to carry specific items: a backpack, an empty canteen, a sleeping bag, a knife, 6 matches, rope, a sheet of plastic, an extra set of clothes and socks, halazone tablets for water purification, along with a small cooking pot and spoon. Crucially, we were not allowed to bring food or water, as our training included learning how to identify edible plants and locate natural water sources. Upon being dropped off at the designated location for my solo endeavor, I was required to hike into the wilderness to establish my campsite. My initial task involved placing a flag on a tree near the drop-off point. This marker served as an indicator for retrieval after the 3 days had elapsed. With a deep connection to nature, I found myself truly at peace. As night descended, I remained untroubled by the encroaching darkness. Immersed in the ambient sounds of the woodlands surrounding me, I felt no need for intense protection. I constructed a modest fire and was enveloped by an overwhelming sense of tranquility. That night, my sleep was undisturbed until thirst awoke me at dawn. Thus began my quest for a water source. With some relief, I discovered a muddy stream nearby. Allowing sediment to settle in my pot, I proceeded to purify the water with tablets before boiling it to improve its taste, a minor inconvenience but necessary for hydration. Everything progressed smoothly and harmoniously as I appreciated each moment, until the final day arrived. It was early afternoon on the final day, and it was time to dismantle my camp. I meticulously cleaned up the campsite and made my way to the designated pickup spot. As I sat, resting against a tree, I heard the distant sound of an approaching vehicle. Assuming it was my scheduled ride, I waited. However, an unfamiliar vehicle soon appeared on the dirt path before me. Immediately upon its arrival, I realized that I did not recognize the driver. He regarded me with an unsettling gaze. Instinctively, I sensed trouble. Without preamble, he inquired about my presence there and whether or not I was alone. To mitigate any potential threat, I lied and mentioned that my friends were behind me still breaking camp. Seemingly unmoved by this information but giving me a knowing look nonetheless, he re-entered his vehicle and drove away. I was gripped by terror. Realizing the immediate necessity to hide, I fled into the woods and concealed myself. As I ran, I heard the car return. Remaining as silent as possible, I stayed hidden while hearing him exit the vehicle and call out for me, his footsteps crunching through the underbrush in search. My fear was palpable. Finally, he abandoned his search. I heard a car door slam shut followed by the engine starting up again before he drove away. Returning to my original drop-off point was clearly not an option, so I began a trek through the forest with hopes of finding base camp. After what felt like hours of walking, I encountered a forest ranger. Relaying my identity and recounting my experience to him, he assured me that seeking refuge had been prudent, alerting me to a recent incident where a young woman had been raped in that area just the night before. Both law enforcement and Forest Service personnel were actively conducting searches in response to this heinous crime. He drove me to the base camp with a sense of urgency. Upon arrival, I was informed that another girl in my class had experienced a disturbing encounter with a man the previous night. She succeeded in scaring him away by blowing a brass whistle until help arrived. The key takeaway from this incident is clear: always trust your instincts and never camp alone.